First time I met Robert, we were in 3rd grade. We met on a street. One of the kids said, "You should have a fight." I reluctantly said yes. Out of fear, I punched him in the nose. He started crying. He went and called his older brother. I cried. When he came back out, he wanted to know who hit his brother. I said it was me. He said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm Danny Vitiello." He brought us inside both crying. And if you know anything about Italians, Italian mothers do one thing when their kids are crying. They feed them. And that's how Robert and I became best friends, because the one thing we did together all the time was eat junk food.
I was a member of the Belleville High class of 1973 with Robert. However, I knew Robert from back in grammar school, from back in kindergarten and 1st grade.
I moved to Belleville in 1967, and it turns out that Robert was my first friend.
He was in my 1st grade class, and he was even then larger than life. He basically, had a personality where he'd connect with everybody.
5th grade stands out because we were the art team. Neither one of us was artistic, but the teacher always gravitated towards us to create whatever posters needed to be done for the classroom. And don't ask me why I remember that from being 10 years old, but it was probably because of the special person that I was, doing it with.
My very first time I met Robert was my first day in 6th grade in Belleville. And he was walking up the hill. I was walking out of the street, out of my street. And he knew, I have no idea how he knew, but he knew that I was the new kid. He walks up, he shakes your hand, "I'm Robert. I walk up this way every day. I'll meet you here on the corner. We'll walk up." I mean, like I said, no, you don't do that when you're in 6th grade.
Robert was one in which always looked after everyone else, always cared about everybody else.
He had asked me, "Hey, you want to be back then it was water boy, and I said, "Yeah, no problem." And no matter where we went to that season, Robert always made sure that I was safe, because we went into some crazy towns, and whether I was on the team bus or the Board of Education van with the right guys, he always looked after me.
Robert was, like I said, well respected. He was looked up to. People always went to him if they had a problem. And in high school, he was like a leader. He was always a leader.
Captain of the football team, captain of the track team, the true leader he was.
Maybe I was 12 years old. He came over for dinner. And it was the first time I met him, and I remember what a presence he was. As soon as he walked in the room, what a vibrant presence he was. Kind of took over the room. And he brought me a gift. I thought, who is this guy? He's bringing me a stuffed armadillo.
Robert Longo, when you talked to him, you felt like you were his best friend. But everybody felt like that. And that's just the kind of guy he was.
Robert played a really important part in my life. He was always thinking, and it was all about having fun, and that's what Robert was about. Robert was always about having fun, whether it was wrestling matches in the cafeteria, during lunch, or in gym classes hiding people's sneakers. Whatever it was, Robert was always looking for a laugh.
He was a gentle giant, and everybody talks about, no matter who you were, he always said hello to you, and I experienced that firsthand.
He made everybody feel like they were part of the group, and that continued even after we were out of high school.
When I became the head baseball coach in 1999 at Belleville. I got a phone call, must have been a week later. He was so excited. "I can't believe Belleville coach, what a great thing."
Every year he would give me a call during football season. We'd talk about the season for me, and how how the season was progressing for me and the team I was playing with. So he was a great friend like that.
Knowing Robert gave us the opportunity to explore things that we probably otherwise would not have.
Would say, come on, let's go out and grab a bite to eat. Well, yeah, okay, we went out and grabbed a bite to eat, and we came home about 3 days later.
He calls me up at about 11 or 12 o'clock. Hey, I'm going to take a ride to the bank. You want to come with me? Maybe we'll get something to eat. I said, sure. He picked me up around 12 o'clock on Saturday, and I got home Monday afternoon. And all I did was go to the bank with him.
When you got in the car with Robert or when you got on the phone with Robert, it was always an adventure, and you never knew where it was going to take you or where it was going to end, but you always knew it was going to be a good time. And you always knew you were going to come out the other end better for it.
Many years ago, myself, Alan, Mark, and George Zanfini, may he rest in peace, went down to see Robert. And he was pretty sick. But in true Robert Longo fashion, he was ordering everybody around like he was George Patton.
He was a fierce competitor in everything that he did, not just in the athletic field, but in every walk of life that he had that he took part in. He competed. He competed hard. He played hard. He competed hard, but he worked hard.
As head baseball coach, I developed an award. It was called the Robert Longo Ultimate Teammate Award. It's given out to a player a senior who is voted on by the underclassmen. Who is the kid that touched you the most, stepped down, went out of their way? And that's the kid that would get the award because it was Robert Longo. And I'm proud to say that award is still going on. And like I said, I could go on and on, but I love Robert and I miss him.
None of us know the impact that we have on other people. And in Robert's case in particular, I doubt that he realized the impact that he had, on the profound impact that he has had on so many people. And look at a guy like me, I maybe only met him a few times. I knew him as a boy, and still, this many years later, even he is able to have an impact on my life. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful, incredible reality.